Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Unreal Engine tutorial series. In this episode, we'll be going over part 3 of our quest system, where it is completing quest objectives and creating the objectives to interact with. So if I come over here and interact with my quest giver, see here's the strange object we created, and there we go, lovely little fun thing on stage menu pops up, and then it's gone. And with that, let me show you how easy it is to get it into your own game. Let's go. Okay, so now that we've got the whole system set up for that, we actually want to complete our objectives. And to do that, we'll actually need the item. So if I open up my data table of quests, you see we've got this fine thing on stage, right? So let's create that thing. Let's come over to your quest system, right click, blueprint class, actor, and we'll call this BP quest thing, right? Open it up, and what we want to do first is we want to add the interact interface. So API interact. Why do I have two? Should be this one with the cog at the top. So click that, and you see we've got interacted with, so forth. Okay, and obviously we'll need something here. So let's add a static mesh, and let's see what we've got. Let's go to the moon collectible, just something I created earlier, and let's just decrease its size to say 0.5, 0.5. Okay, and I lift it up so it's not on the ground, and we can add the rotation. Movement, and then we can just set that rate to be nice and slow, say 60. That's fine. Let's save. Okay, so now that we've set this up, what we can do is go to this, double click on this interacted with to get this function, right? And here we've got this objective ID. This objective ID needs to be exactly the same as what you have in your DT quest. So here, this objective ID here is, I've got location test 01, so I'm just going to copy and paste that straight across. And make sure that it's spelled exactly the same, otherwise it won't work. So come over to your quest base. So in your quest system, it is this BP quest base. Open that up. And we're just going to move all this stuff down because we don't need it. Actually, we can get rid of them for now. And we're going to use this event begin player, right? So we're going to go get my player character. That function we created from the common function library. If you don't have that, go check out that video. It's pretty quick. I'll show you how to set this up. Then we'll drag out from here and go bind event on what did we call it here? Bind event called objective ID. Bind event on uncalled objective ID, that one there, right? So connect that up, and then from here we go create event. We're gonna go by create matching function, and we're just gonna rename this to on objective found. Okay, so next we need to find out all the quest details, right? So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get a new function that gets all the quest details. So drag over your event begin play, because it's gonna go before this event called objective ID. So create a new function. Now we'll just call it get quest details, and from here we're gonna get our quest ID and go get data table row like we've done before, and we're going to get our quests, right? Connect these up, and now we're going to set it as these quest details that we set up earlier. So just drag on like that and get it. So now we've set this quest ID to be our quest ID with the details. So from here we're going to break to get the stages and go get a copy. And then from here, we're going to get our current stage and connect it up, right? So that if we have multiple stages, this will now update. And then from here we can set this as our current stage details, like so. From here we're gonna get our current objective progress, right? And we're gonna get a clear function. So why we do this is that if when we change stage, let's say we have a two-part quest, so find the thing and then destroy thing, we want to clear the objective of that first stage away so that we're not getting that same objective in our second stage. Okay, so now from your set current stage, drag out and go break hit results, or break results, sorry, and we'll get all of this, right? Now we want the quest, the objective ID, so drag out from your objectives, go for each loop, connect that up, and then from the array element, you want to break, and we want to get this objective ID. So drag out from your current objective progress, put this here, we want to add to the current one, right? So it will be this one that has all the funky colors. You want to click this into here, connect that up to there, so that we're adding our objective ID to our current objective progress. Okay, so now come back over to your event graph, and we just want to drag out this get quest details. I need to fix the spelling on that. Details like that, right? Now we go back to our on objective found. We're gonna get our current objective progress. Okay, so now we need to compare our current objective progress with the objective ID that we're getting, right? So we're gonna find and connect these up and just add a branch. So what this is doing is checking against our current objective against the current ID in this stage, and if that is fine, then we'll go ahead, right? Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to get our current objective progress, and we're gonna add to it, connect this up to the true, and we're gonna get this quest objective ID, right? So let's just move this up so we have some space here. Get objective ID, and now we need to get this value, right? So that will be this value here plus 1 because we're incrementing it, right? So we're going to add 1 like so and connect this up. Just rewrite your node so it looks a bit neater. And then we need to add a return node here and on the false. So there is going to be a problem that when we interact with the quest objective, we're going to keep adding 1, right? So if we only have 1 of 1 for our quest, this will keep adding. So we'll end up with 2 of 1, 3 of 1, 4 of 1, as long as we keep interacting with our object. We're going to fix that later by clamping it down to make sure it doesn't go over our max quantity from the quest. Yeah, so next go to your content browser and we're going to open up our HUD quests, quest objectives. So you want to open up your quest menu because that's what we're going to be working on next, as well as your objectives and I think your quest entry maybe. No, not the quest entry, don't worry about that, just those for now. Okay, so in your game menu quests, we're going to be changing up the logic we created previously, right? So we're going to be getting, let me show you what I mean. Go back to our quest system, quest over here, this quest log, yeah, this, we need to get this current quest, right? This array over here, this current quest array, right? And that will be replacing, because we've already got this current active quests adding to the array, we don't need to then re-get the current quest active, right? Because our array is going to have everything. So we're going to drag out from here and go get current quests, and we're going to connect that up. Okay, get rid of this, disconnect those and go like this into there, right? You can drag out and go get quest ID, connect with that, Yeah. And then just replace the quest ID where it was previously. So for instance, it was like that for us. So we can just do that. Okay, so now we need to change our quest log entry to receive this current quests array, right? What you want to do now is to change the quest entry widget. So just come over to the browse, just so we get it quickly. Open it up, create a new variable here, and this will be of quest actor. This will be a BP quest base objective reference. Make sure it's instance editable and exposed on spawn. So complete file and save, and now go back to your quests. Right click, refresh nodes, and you've got your quest actor, which you can connect straight up there. So go back to your quest entry now, and we're gonna add another input to this on quest selected, right? So add a new one. This will be quest actor, and this will be the same again, BP quest base. Okay, and then we just want to drag in this quest actor to quest actor like so. File and save. Okay, so back in our game menu quests, you can see now on this quest selected we've got this output, but now we need to tell this display quest what quest we need, right? So what we want to do is come over to display quest, add a new input, again quest actor of BP quest base objective, that's right. File and save, and then just connect up like so. Okay, so now that we've got that added in, we want to promote this to a variable so we can access all the info in here. So we're going to call this current quest actor, and just connect it up like so. So we need to then come over to our quest log, quest objectives, right? Open this up like so, go to the graph, and we want to add the variable there as well. So quest actor, and this will be quest base, and make sure it's instance editable and exposed on spawn. So if we come back here, right click and refresh the nodes, you'll see now we've got the quest actor. We can just connect that like that. Okay, so back in our quest entry, sorry, not quest object, quest objectives, we now need to add or get the reference to the quantity of things that we need, right, and of the quest actor. So I'm going to change a couple things here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add here curly brackets and just type current curly brackets / like so, right? So now we've got this. What we're going to do is we're going to drag out from quest actor. We're going to get current objective progress, right, like that. And I'm going to drag out from here to find, and we want to find this objective ID, right? And then all we want to do is connect up this to our current and quantity to quantity, right? So finding the objective will be of 1 of 1. So current will be 0 because we haven't found the object, but we need to find 1 of the object. That's essentially it. So if we had to find 4 objects, that would be quantity 4, and this will be 0, 4 until we found 4 objects, right? Then what we need to do is we need to come over here and just drag out from this checked slate, right? Because what we want is we want, if we found the object, to then change this check state. So get a select node. Okay, so post editing Shane here. At this point, I muted my mic by accident and didn't turn it back on until I was complete with this section. So I'm just going to have to talk over it and explain what I'm doing. From our select node, we needed to get to check the quantity of our current objective progress and check it against our total quantity required for the quest, right? So we just dragged out and got a greater than or equal to, and we just make sure it's equal to the quantity, and then that will be our boolean check against the select node. So I just checked it to check against the designer so that it checks on that box, right? Click compile and save. As it stands now, we're going to get an error where it says it can't fill in the text box, right? And this is because it needs to check against this quest actor to see if it's valid or not. So we create this validation check by dragging out the quest actor, right click and go convert to validated get, right? And that will play that through there. Okay, so come over to your quest base, and now we need to check against the adding the total value. So to make sure it doesn't keep adding on, so we create a new function, label it objective ID found. I think that's how I labeled it. No, okay. Get objectives by details. Get objective details by ID. And you're going to add a new ID of string value. Just call it objective ID as an input. And we're going to drag out from our current stage, and we're going to break the hit result, or break the result, and we're going to for each loop the objectives so that we can check against each objective ID to make sure that we've got the correct one. So break that result again so we get the objective ID. And now you just need to make sure it's exactly the same. So drag out of your objective ID and type exact, or press triple equals to get the exact string, right? And just connect up objective ID to the equals. From there we get a branch, and we connect up. Then we're just going to add a return node to the end. And then we're also going to drag in our array element as an output. Click compile and save and go over to objective found. And we're going to drag that in, but make sure it is a pure cast. So we didn't set it as a pure cast, so we're just going to change it now to a pure cast, so that it ends up looking like that, right? And from there we can drag in our objective ID, break the results of an array element. And we're just going to check that the quantity is less than our total quantity. Our current quantity is less. And if it's less than our quantity, then we create a branch and connect it up. And if it is less, then we go ahead and add it. Now just rewriting to make it a bit cleaner. Okay, from here I go ahead and add the quest object we created earlier into the world and just raise it up, just so that we can actually interact with the object. And here I'm just checking my interaction button, which is F. Testing it out. So, here I'm pointing out that the text block isn't working. This is to do with the validated get, which we'll fix in a later episode. But for now, when we go over, we interact with the object, you'll see it says find thing on stage 1 of 1. So we've technically completed the objective. Okay, for the next part, we're going to create a HUD widget that will show us when we've completed an objective. So come over to your UI quests and create a new quest user widget, and a quest objective update. Here we're gonna need a canvas panel, and what we're gonna need now is a border. And now this is obviously choice again for you. I'm gonna choose what I want. So half 15, negative 100. Okay. So just fiddle around to get what you want. I'm gonna say mine is 300 by 5, or maybe 4. And then we just move the position over using nice round numbers of 250. Okay. So I'm just gonna make mine black with an opacity of 0.75. Okay. That is not what I wanted. So put this back up to 1. It is this brush color over here. And maybe make it lower, 0.5. Okay. And in here we're going to need a horizontal box. In here, text. And obviously anything else you want in here, just put it in your text box. I'm going to put some padding around the horizontal box just so we have some space. Text box is going to be middle aligned to fill the full space, and maybe some padding on the left here to maybe 10. That's fine. And we're going to leave this as is, but make sure it's named objective detail. Variable happy days. Now, this is obviously optional, but we can make this whole border animate. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna change this border's opacity originally to be I just want to see if there is a render opacity here. Just check opacity. Yeah, okay, so there is a render opacity. So by default, we'll set it at 0, so it's completely invisible, right? So come over to your animations, create a new animation, call this objective update underscore, right? Okay, so we want to click our border and add it here. So we're going to add the and I'm gonna click here on the track and go render opacity, right? So we're gonna say it takes half a second. So go to half a second on your timeline and set that as 1. So you'll see over half a second we get to be visible. Now we also want it to be moving in and out of the screen. So we're gonna click on the border again and go transform, just double checking. Yeah, transform, okay. And this will be our final location, but at the start here, we're gonna want to move it probably in the X. So move it to say just off screen. So 400, no, 500, okay, 450, okay, 460 should be good, right? and that will be there. So essentially what our animation will do is it will look like that. So over 1 second, that's what it will look like. Great. Okay. So now that that's done, click away from your animation so you can go back to default. And we're going to set this default location, this default location to be, what is it, 460. Oh, maybe a bit too far. 210, let's say 210, right? And we'll come back to the animation, we'll just check that it plays fine. Up, see, now it's gone wrong, so we just need to change this transform to be 210 or 0. Yeah, 0 is fine. And then at the end here, it will be negative 250. Nope, what is it? Negative 400. Negative 450. Yeah, so that's fine. So that's essentially what our animation will look like, right? Just make sure that you set your defaults beforehand, and then afterwards we're good. So if we do that, okay. Now we need to come over to the graph, and you'll see we've got this objective animation over here. So we're just going to come here, and this will be on the construct. Yeah, so get rid of this, get rid of this. So on the construct, we're going to play animation forward, right, like so, and that'll just play the animation forward. Then we can delay this to say 3 seconds, and we'll just do this again, but we'll play animation reverse. Remove from parents. Happy days. Cool. Then we need to set this text. So come over here, go events, begin. Pre-construct. So we have the info beforehand, and we're just gonna set the text here. Set text. Now I'm going to promote this to a variable. This will be our quest details text. Okay, don't forget to make sure that this is instance editable and exposed on spawn, right? So now we need to go to our quest base and actually fill in this info, right? So come over, create a new function because we're going to be adding it to the end here. So create a new function. Is object right, and we're gonna need an input of quest ID. No, sorry, objective ID. Oh, I can't spell word sudden. Objective ID. Okay, and we're gonna get this gets objective by details by ID, right? And from here we're gonna break the hit results so we can get the ID and the quantity. So what we need to do is we need to get our current quest objectives, and we're gonna find and what we need to do is check that this this quantity is greater or equal to our quantity, and if it is, then we will go ahead, let me just connect these up and go create widgets, viewport, add to viewport, and that will be our WB quest objective update. Oh, I did not spell that correctly at all. Okay, and it needs quest details, so we're just going to go from here and get the objective name, or is it description, I think, and we're just going to need a return node. And now we go back over to onObjective found, and we're just going to add is objective complete here. and we need the quest ID, so just get objective ID like so. Let's test it out. So go over to accept our quest. Now we press F and nothing happened. But if we look, our quest does indeed have it. Let's figure out why that did not display. So I forgot to connect the objective ID up here, so let's just connect that up and let's see if now that works. There we go, one thing on stage. Happy days. One thing I noticed when pressing the tab button a lot is in our menus. Not this one, it's this one. Yeah, all these checkboxes are clickable, right? And that's a problem because we don't want our player to click on them. So if we're pressing tab or on the controller, we can essentially scroll to them and click on them, which we don't want. So any checkboxes you find in your menus, just come over to the visibility and set not hit testable, self and children, right? Compile and save, and then just do that for the others as well if they have checkboxes. That should be it for now. So that should be now working, right? So let's check that out. Yeah. So now if you see, I can't click on it. So accept. I'll go to my quest menu now. I can't click on it. See? So just make sure it's set like that. Okay, and that's going to be it for this episode. So we went over changing how our quest system works so that we can actually get our quest objective IDs and complete the quest. So let me show you that. So we go over to our quest giver, press F to interact. Ignore this text block, we will be fixing this in a later episode, but it's, click accept. And now if we go over to our quest, you can see all the information is filled in. And if we go back over, here's our strange object. I'm going to press F, you can see we get a nice little objective update, and it goes away. So, and then we go over to here, and go, see, we've completed the quest, and we can't check all the box. So, that's how it's going to be for this episode, and I'll see you in the next, where we'll go over the different type of objectives. Cheers for now.